thank you so much for coming. I know I'm not supposed to say that according to like the latest presentation advice, but I really do appreciate all of you coming. I know the other sessions are really tight right now, so I appreciate you coming. I am Tricia Meyer. And I've been in affiliate marketing for almost 10 years now. And I have a loyalty site is my main site, but then I also have blogs and joint ventures and white label and do consulting and a lot of different things. So I don't consider myself one of those people that I'm not an SEO expert. I'm not a social expert. I'm not an expert in any one particular area because I've had to learn the whole business. So I know a little bit of everything. And this is about my maybe 18th time speaking at Affiliate Summit, and I've always tried to speak about something different. And this time I couldn't think of what to speak about, so I just put it out to all of my industry friends and said, what should I speak about? And everyone said something completely different. And I thought, oh, that's not useful. Oh no, that's actually really useful. What I will do is I will do what I always do at Affiliate Summit, and that is to sit around and just tell everybody everything I know for free. So consider this little meeting here kind of like us having drinks and me spilling the beans on things, Chris bringing his drink. If everybody had known, everybody could have brought drinks. We should have announced that before. Tweet out that if anybody's coming, they probably need to have a drink first. No, that might not be right. So at any rate, these are the kind of things that I just tell everybody, that if some of my consulting clients, these are things that I teach them. Some of it is if you just kind of corner me somewhere and we're having a conversation and you have a problem, these are the things that I would tell you might fix it. So we will save all of the questions for the end to make sure I get through the 20 questions. So if you do have any follow-ups for any of this, just save them for the end. And if I can't get them during the session, I'll get them afterward. So Sunshine Tricia there, that's my name. If I say anything really smart, even though they're secrets, feel free to tweet it out. If I say something really stupid, my name is Sin Groomer. That's my mom. She's in another room right now. Let's start out. What's a VIP commission? How many of you are affiliates? How many are merchants? What are the rest of you? Okay, so I'm going to tell you first of all, a VIP commission is not. A VIP commission is not that you are Retail Me Not, you are the biggest affiliate out there. That's the only way that you're going to get a VIP commission. It's not because you have the biggest site and the most traffic and the biggest list. Those things can get you a VIP commission, but those are not the things that you have to get VIP commissions. Most merchants will start their programs at a base commission level. And then a lot of them will have higher VIP commissions that are kind of hidden somewhere. Sometimes they will say it in their terms, but a lot of times they won't. So in order to get a VIP commission, you have to just be a really good fit for that merchant. So it might be, cultivating relationships with the outsourced program managers, the OPMs, the affiliate managers. It might be that you have something very special that you can drive incremental traffic for them in a certain area. It may also just be that you're willing to give them special things. So what are those special things? How do I get higher commissions from a merchant? And this slide's kind of both for the affiliates to know what kinds of things that you could be doing, but also for the affiliate managers. Maybe if you haven't been doing it very long, or if you're just looking for other suggestions to give affiliates, think of some of these things as things that they might be able to do for you in exchange for those higher commission rates. Obviously, homepage placement. So, that's like the basic. The merchants want to be on the homepage, and they don't want to be on the homepage with 25 other merchants. So exclusivity of the homepage placement as well. So to be able to say, we only run 3 merchants on our homepage, that's it. Or we only rotate through 5 merchants, that's it. Exclusivity on the homepage is something that can get you that higher commission. Also consider featured merchant on your site. If you've got a good audience, when you say the words like featured merchant, your audience will wonder, why is this merchant different? Why is this something that's special? So to call somebody a featured merchant, it might be featured merchant amongst all of our Halloween merchants that we have and all of our Halloween coupons. This is our featured merchant in the Halloween section. So even if you're a deal site, you can still do this by having a featured merchant for the whole site or particular categories. And consider doing that in your newsletter as well, depending on how you're monetizing your newsletter, having that block at the top that's featured merchant for the newsletter. And social media exposure in two different ways. If you can hit your audience with that merchant, but then if they're also reaching their audience in some way. So if they're doing some kind of push where they just want to see their name showing up in Twitter, they want to see their product showing up on Instagram, on Pinterest, they want to see a lot of that out there. That might be something that you can negotiate as well to say, we will pin X number of images to our boards. We will put X number of Instagrams up over such and such amount of time. Consider thinking about the fact that your audience, if their audience, they're overlapping well enough, they want more social media exposure. That can be built into that higher VIP commission rate. Also, video reviews. It's not really hard to do a regular product review. So to say to a merchant, give me a higher commission and I'll write a product review for you, or give me free stuff and I'll do a product review. Product reviews, there are so many bloggers out there willing to do product reviews right now that it's a lot more competitive. If you really want a VIP commission, if you're willing to do video reviews, that's a step up for them because it's more commitment for you. You're going to have to spend more time and uploading it to YouTube and then embedding it in your site and all those things. But you can negotiate to get the higher commission because you're willing to do those extra steps that the other bloggers might not be. And finally, just finding out what's unique to your site. You have to really look at your site and say, what do I have that everybody else doesn't have? What can I give this merchant that not everybody else can give them? And if you can do that and make a case for yourself, the chances are good you'll be able to get into that VIP commission rate. And now, how do you figure out if they have a VIP commission rate? It can be tricky, but I have two little secrets that I will tell you that I do. First of all is going to cashback sites like Ebates. Look and see what Ebates is paying out to their members on their site and double it. And that's about probably what Ebates is getting in the ballpark. So if you're getting 6% from a flower merchant and Ebates is paying out 7%, chances are that merchant has a VIP commission rate. So that's always the first place that I go. I look at the cashback sites, and there are some cashback comparison sites like Cashbackaholic that will have a listing of all the different cashback sites and what they're paying out. So if you just go to that site and kind of look at the range of cashback that's being paid, that will tell you. And then also, within SureSale in particular, if you go in and look at the numbers, they show you what the average sale is and what the average commission is. Well, if the merchant is, a 10% flat, and you see that the average sale is $200, but the average commission is $40, they're paying somebody more than 10%. So that's an easy way too, when you can get those kind of numbers that you can see that. What's the best affiliate network? Everyone always asks me, okay, Tricia, you've worked with every single affiliate network. Which is the best one? And I'm going to tell you, it's not a popular answer amongst a lot of my friends, but I believe that there is treasure within all of them. I believe that you just have to find it depending upon what is good for your site. Some of them are going to have different tools for you. They might have attribution. How many of you know what attribution is? Okay. Well, the PMA put out a document last week. Performance Marketing Association put out a document last week on attribution, and it kind of goes through what attribution means and how some of the different networks take care of it. But it's basically getting commission at different points of the sale, if you're the first cookie, if you're the second cookie, and all that. So the attribution models are different for all the different networks. Now, if you're a loyalty site or a deal site, all you want is last click. That's all you care about because you're going to be the last click a lot of times. If you're a content site, you don't want the loyalty sites and the coupon sites coming in and taking your sales. So for you, that attribution is a really big deal. So for the merchants that are in here, if you're not doing attribution, you need to be now because so many of your competitors are and so many of the affiliates are looking for it. If you're an affiliate, you really need to understand what the attribution model is and how each of the networks you work with and the merchants take care of it. Also, depending upon the niche that you're in, different networks kind of came up with different merchants. So, for example, AvantLink had a lot of sports merchants when they first started out, so that's still kind of their focus, although they've branched out. Linkshare originally went through a lot of the fashion, clothing, designer kind of merchants, so you'll find a lot more of those kind of brands there. So even though all of them are starting to cross over more, depending on the niche that you're in, you may have no choice but to work with certain networks. Also, figuring out how responsive the network is when you have a problem. If you are having technical issues or having problems with a network, and you have gone to their site and you can't even figure out how to contact them, or you figure out how to contact them and they never respond to you, you will find that there are definitely big differences in that. And I will say that link share for me is the worst when it comes to that. Like, I've called, I've emailed, I've filled out support tickets. I have problems with that. CJ, not a whole lot better. But on the flip side, share a sale, always great whenever I've had problems with things. So, and some of these networks are more affiliate friendly than others. I would say, looking at the tools, that they have, Share a Sale has tried to focus the most on bloggers. So if you are a blogger or if you're targeting bloggers, they've tried really hard to put together a lot of different tools that help bloggers do things quickly. So do I have a favorite affiliate network, and what is the best affiliate network? If I'm looking purely at which ones track best for me, Share a Sale, Impact Radius, those are the two that track best for me. Commission Junction, Link Share are the ones that when my members, as a cashback site, when they don't get credit and they come and file a ticket with me to find out why they didn't get their money, 9 times out of 10, those merchants are on Link Share or Commission Junction. And it's either because the toolbar has overwritten my cookies, or they didn't have attribution and another coupon site overwrote my cookie, or the tracking was just bad to begin with and nobody ever caught it. So in terms of if your focus is on most bang for your buck and you're a total numbers person and a metrics person, statistically, based on my site, Commission Junction and Link Share are the two that we have 99% of our trouble tickets of missing credits on. And after the fact, when we contact those merchants, 9 times out of 10, they come back and say, yes, we were owed the money. So it's not just a matter of us asking for money we don't deserve. So statistically, I know this for a fact of 10 years of data. So Anne asked me a question, and I'm going to answer it for her. What's the fastest way for bloggers to get into affiliate marketing? And that's tough because there are a lot of different ways, and it's one of those things that you could spend, an hour on it. Those are all things I've written about, and all things that I've made money off of, and all things that I use pretty much on a daily basis. The top one, that bowl, is the strangest thing. That is a chopping bowl on Amazon where I wanted to get salads made like Subway, where they chop them up. So I wrote a blog post because my husband bought me that. It's my #1 selling item on my mom's blog. Like 3 years later, that chopping bowl is my #1 selling item on my site, because I was genuine about it. It was something that I wasn't writing the post because I wanted to make money. I wasn't writing the post because I wanted to monetize the site. I was writing the post because I loved that darn bowl, and I wanted to tell everybody I knew about the bowl. And now, after all this time, I'm still making money. Those shoes at the bottom, I bought those shoes and I loved them so much, and they were being discontinued, so they were on sale. And so I posted on Facebook like, oh, I love my shoes. Look how cute they are. I'm buying 2 more pair. And people started saying, do you have an affiliate link? Because I like those too. And then more people bought the shoes off of Facebook because I said I love them. So really the bottom line is start with what you're already talking about. When you have the blog, go back through your old posts and look at, the books that you've read. And that Sleepy Time tea is like my favorite thing ever now. I drink it about 3 nights a week. Those are the things that you love. You don't have to feel like you're being forced to monetize your site. You don't have to feel like you're selling out to make money. If you're going back through your old posts and just finding things you've already talked about, or going through your day top to bottom, these are the products I use on my hair. These are the products that, my kids use. This is what I wore today. That's really simple. And by going back to some older posts or trying it with a couple of posts, the benefit to you is that you're going to learn how to find those links. You're going to learn how to find a deep link into a product. You're going to learn which merchants sell different types of products. So you're going to get a really fast education on affiliate marketing just by going through the things that you already use and working backwards. What's an appropriate FTC disclosure? Look, Slade looks up over there. The lawyer in the room is like, oh, did she say FTC? I'm in. This is going to be a really dull and boring answer for you. So, this FTC disclosure is a big deal. How many of you feel like you adequately understand the FTC and their disclosure requirements as they stand? It's a tough thing. As merchants, I think that it's hard. As Affiliates, it's hard. Affiliate managers, OPMs, are in the middle right now. And I feel like they're the ones that are kind of calling the shots because they're the ones that are having to keep an eye on what the affiliates are doing and reporting back to the merchants whether or not they think that the affiliates are being compliant. And so it's really putting the affiliate managers and the OPMs in control in a lot of ways. So I tried to boil it down to like the very most simplistic. If somebody, like if a 6-year-old were to say to me, I started a blog, what do I have to tell people? And those things are that it has to be in clear language. So no legalese. Yes, it's the FTC, but you don't have to say, pursuant to the guidelines, my sponsorships are relevant to the material consideration. No legalese. They actually want the opposite of that. They want clear language that your readers are going to understand. So something put into the terms that your readers would understand that this was sponsored in some way or that you were being compensated in some way. And it needs to be obvious to the reader. It cannot be buried in the footer. I have seen so many OPMs sending out compliance emails to their affiliates saying that they have to have disclosure. And then when I go to my competitors' sites and I find no disclosure or disclosure in the footer, and I email the affiliate manager and say, why are none of my competitors having to do this when I am? And they say, oh yeah, they are. Look, they have that thing down in their footer. No, the FTC specifically said it cannot be in the footer. It has to be before any links. So you cannot have any link before you have that disclosure because their thought is, and it's accurate if you think about it, people aren't going to read your whole post to the bottom, then scroll back up and click out to that product to look at it. They're going to be reading your post and they're going to get to something that they like and they're going to click the link and they're gone. And at that point, you may have already made a sale before you even told them that you were being compensated for that sale. And the FTC does not want that. So it cannot be hidden in the footer. It can't just be in tiny, tiny print compared to the rest of your site. You can't just kind of put it in gray on a gray background and then the rest of your site is black on white. It has to actually be something that is obvious that people can see. And it also has to be shown on all devices. So that's something to really consider. If you're using, a responsive template, make sure that you have it built in because so many people are going to be clicking through on their devices. Now, merchants out there, I have bad news for you. The FTC is still saying they're coming after you. Bloggers, I have bad news for you. They've kind of hinted that they now can go after bloggers. And it's a little vague because they've said, well, our target is not the bloggers. However, we're open to looking at the bloggers as well. So they're just kind of hedging their bets, in my opinion, at this point, waiting to see who's bigger. Or is the merchant a bigger example to be made of? Is the affiliate a bigger example to be made of? So it's tough. And I would say I keep a pretty close eye on my competitors at least, and I would say in one of my niches, my competitors are 0% compliant. In others, they're maybe 30 to 40% compliant. So merchants and OPMs, you have this responsibility, and if you're not policing it, it may very well come back on you. What's the one thing you must do at Affiliate Summit? Eric says karaoke, but I only have 4 tickets left for that. So if you want to go to karaoke, you're going to have to see me right after this session to get your tickets. No, now 2. Oh, so Todd's taking 2 more. So, yep, sorry. No, I love karaoke, but the one thing that you have to do, it's kind of a trick question. It's different for everyone, but the one thing that I want you to do is to create a list of action items. And I kind of feel like Sean and Missy stole my thunder by putting that thing, if you look through all the paperwork, they actually have a sheet in there that says like action items to do from Affiliate Summit. Use that page or use your phone or use whatever it is and truly think of a few things that you learned here that you can implement quickly. Whether that's people that you met that you're going to follow up with in the next week when you got home, whether it's things that you learned that you're going to implement on your site, whether it's things you're going to buy, if it's a book or whatever it is that you have learned here, that you've picked up here, that you know that you need to do. You don't want it to come around to October, November, and you're looking at Affiliate Summit West and saying, well, did I get anything out of Affiliate Summit East? If you don't follow up on the things that you did here, if you don't take away some concrete things from these sessions and then act on them, you're not going to be as likely to come back. And everybody should be getting value out of this conference. Everybody should be getting something out of it. If nothing else, all of you here in the room, I know enough of you in here that could be working together and doing things together that before you even leave this room, you could leave with an action item of something that you should be doing. So everybody should be getting something It's really just a matter of documenting it and then following up on it. And if you really want to hold yourself accountable, either tweeting the things you're going to do when you get home, or if you're a blogger, writing a blog post and saying, this is what I learned at Affiliate Summit, and these are the things that I'm planning on doing that I got out of Affiliate Summit. And then going back a couple months later, or send me a link to your post and I'll read it and I'll comment and I say, oh, that's great. And then I'll boomerang the email to myself, and 2 months from now, I will email you and say, hey, how's that going? And if you haven't gotten anywhere, you'll feel guilty and you'll start working on it. So I'll help you out with that if you want. I'm happy to nag, right? Yeah, no, my two business partners are like, we don't know. So what do you do when sales don't track properly? I mentioned before, having a loyalty site, that there are a lot of times that we get complaints from our customers that sales did not track. So what do you do if you find out that sales are not tracking properly? The first thing you need to know is that not all sales are going to track for you. I mean, they're just not. There are going to be a certain percent that don't track, whether it's tech issues or cookies being overwritten or customers that are blocking the cookies. There are just going to be some sales that don't track. But what you're looking for are the consistent non-tracking. If it's the same merchant that is never tracking, if it's the same network that's not tracking, if it's the same customer of yours that's making purchases and it's never tracking, you want to look for those consistencies. So the first thing is you really need to keep an eye on your stats for your merchants, and not just your credits as they're coming in, but also looking in the networks and looking to see what their EPC is, or in ShareASale, looking at the date of their last transaction. If you see a date of last transaction that is like January 28th, and you wrote a blog post that is getting a lot of traffic and a lot of clicks, and you're not getting any sales, there's a problem there, and you need to contact the merchant and find out why that's happening. Also making a test purchase yourself. I mean, not all merchants allow it. You can reach out to the merchant first and ask them if you don't feel comfortable, and just say, is it okay if I make a test purchase? Because I want to make sure that this is tracking. And they'd be crazy to tell you that you couldn't do that. You know, as long as you're intending to keep it, you're not trying to cancel it, or they may even help you make that test purchase. Getting to know other people in your niche and comparing notes with them. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later. It's a tricky thing, getting to know the other people that are doing the same thing you do and working with the same merchants that you work with. And there are a lot of reasons that you wouldn't want to do that, and things that you don't want to share with your competitors. But at the same time, when you know those other people and you can say, you know, hey, Ann, I'm working with X merchant and I have had no sales with them in the last month. Have you? And you say, you know what? I wrote like 3 blog posts and have had no sales with them either. Okay, what's going on? And then you start kind of comparing notes and saying, you know, well, how many clicks have you had? How many clicks? Well, comparatively, what do your numbers look like? And just saying, you know, is this out of the ordinary for this merchant? Is this out of the ordinary compared to the rest of my site? When you can do that, you can make a stronger case to the merchant. The number of times that we've contacted a merchant and said, there's something wrong with your tracking, and their response is, no, there's something wrong with your site, or there's something wrong with the network, it's huge. The majority of the time, the response of the merchant is, it's you, not me. To get around that, if you're working with your competitors, and to be able to say, no, we're all having this same problem, you're just going to have a stronger case with the merchant. And then visit ABW, a Best Web, start a dialogue about that merchant. Bill over here can help you out if you need some information about what ABW is. Beware that if you share that kind of information on there, the merchant might kick you out of their program. But if you're not getting sales from them, that's a chance that you might not mind taking. But sometimes it is just a matter of, you know, hey, is anybody else working with this merchant? Has anybody else had any problems here? And if everybody else says, no, we're fine, then maybe it is you. And that's a way to be kind of in a friendly environment of people that you can talk about those issues with. Which merchants might be stealing my customers and my sales from me? I really liked this question, and I hate that the answer is kind of big, because those are some big brand names up there. If you are a blogger in particular, a deal blogger, and you're doing some of this lead gen, if you're doing Saving Star because they have really good coupons, if you're doing coupons.com, in particular, those two, Saving Star, you might be sending them there for the grocery coupons, but then they're going to start marketing cash back to them. So if all of a sudden you sent them a customer because you wanted to make, $2 for getting them to download grocery coupons, and now those people are getting an email every week telling them get cash back at this site and get cash back at this site, you might have just lost any chance you ever had of making any affiliate commissions off of those customers you sent. So you really need to weigh whether it's worth it to get that $2 to send people to Saving Star. Coupons.com is the same. You can send them to get the groceries, but then they're going to also have online coupons there as well. And Living Social and Groupon, a lot of people don't realize now have the coupons on there as well. So you might be sending them there to get a Groupon or local deals, thinking that's all they're going to buy there, but then they stumble upon the coupon section and bookmark it, and then the next thing you know, every time you post something, a deal on your site or a product, they're going back to Living Social and Groupon and using the coupons there, and they're getting the sales. So it's just really something to think about, especially if you're pulling things like this from CPA networks, if you're sending traffic to affiliate merchants. And that's basically what they are. They are a merchant to you, but then they're also an affiliate themselves. What are the different levels of coupon codes? How many of you deal with coupon codes in any way, either as a merchant or as affiliates? All right. So basically, there are some different levels, and I think of them kind of as steps. At the very bottom are all of the general codes. It's Sephora has free shipping on $50 all the time. It's on their site. It's what they run through their link share program. It's just their all the time general code. They're available to everybody. They really don't do you a lot of good if you're trying to feature coupons. That next level up, though, are affiliate exclusives. And affiliates love those because those are the coupon codes that people can only get through an affiliate site. So you can say to your readers and genuinely say, I have a deal that you're not going to be able to get just by going to 1-800-Flowers. You're only going to get this deal, in certain places, and I have this deal. So those affiliate exclusives, I would say, I can't say percentage-wise how many merchants have them, but I would say probably at least 40 to 50 run them sometimes, and maybe during the holiday season even more than that. But those affiliate exclusives are good for the affiliates because it gives us something to advertise to our visitors. The next level up are the vanity codes. And the vanity codes are affiliate exclusive offers, but they're just branded in some way with your name. So kind of think of like vanity license plates. I always ask for Sunshine or Sunshine Rewards, to be the code. So it might be Sun Reward 10 for 10% off. It might not be any different than the other affiliate exclusives. It might be that every other affiliate that asks for a vanity code, everybody's getting 10% off. But if my 10% off is Sunshine Rewards 10, then at least when I go to my audience, it gives me something that makes it look like I have a closer relationship with that merchant, which makes my customers believe in the merchant more, so it's a benefit to the merchant, and then it also makes me have more credibility too. So, and then that very top one, they're like the golden fleece of the coupon codes, the exclusive codes. And those are the codes that are only for your site. And you have to, maybe have a very, very specific niche where you can deliver some traffic to them. But those exclusive coupon codes, in an ideal situation, if anybody uses that code, you, the affiliate, will get the commission. So if you can get those exclusive codes and have the merchant do it that way, no matter who uses the code, you get the commission. So if another coupon site or another deal site scrapes your exclusive code, doesn't matter, you're still getting paid for it. What's sub-ID tracking and how should I be using it? How many of you know what sub-ID tracking is? A few. So that is a little cheat sheet that I have on Tricia.me. Within every affiliate link within all of the different networks, there are ways that you can add an identifier to the end. And that identifier will allow you to add extra information into your tracking. So for me as a loyalty site, I use this to be able to tell when I get a commission, which of my members is supposed to get that commission. But there are a lot of other ways you can use it too. If you're running social campaigns, you can append something specific to it so that you know which of the campaigns worked for you and which didn't. If you are running banners on different places on your site, if you're trying out different promotions, if you're doing A/B testing, all of those are times where you would want to use this extra sub-ID tracking. If you're not using it in any way, you should be, because there's some metric that you're probably missing out on if you're not using this. So each of those, again, it's up on Tricia.me if you don't get it, but feel free to take a quick pick or whatever. They're sometimes hard to find within the networks. I think Impact Radius is the one I can ever find. Sometimes they will prompt you to add it when you create the link yourself. I think like ShareSell with the app track, they prompt you, but some of them kind of hide the ball on it for some reason. I don't know why, because I think they should want us to use it. How do I get to inbox zero? I have two things that I use to get to inbox zero. The first is really easy for me, and the second is not. The first is Boomerang, and Eric introduced me to it like a year or two ago, maybe. It's like $5 a month or something like that. But boomeranging the emails to come back at different times and for follow-ups, it helps me just keep everything cleaned out. It helps me with reminders, so I'm not just holding things in my inbox. If you have a tendency to just say, oh, well, I'm going to hold it here until I get to it, but you know logically you're not going to get to it. You're leaving for Affiliate Summit. You're not going to get to it the next few days. Just boomerang it until you come back and then say, I know that logically I'm not going to touch my email until next Wednesday. Boomerang it to next Wednesday, have it come back to you. And the second is the word no. Like 90% of my emails that I don't answer are emails that I don't want to tell somebody no. Somebody that is asking for, can I get a quote from you for this? Or can I get some free consulting? Or a merchant that wants me to sell like some weird, canoes on my Helping Moms Connect site that, has just no real, I'm not going to make any money. But in my mind, I think, well, if I say no, then they're going to just respond to me with well, we really do think it is a good fit, and here's why. I'm going to say, no, that's okay, thank you very much. And they're going to say, okay, well, we have this other program, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. So instead of saying no, I just let them pile up in my inbox. So about once a week now, I go through and I just say, okay, it's time to be mean. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to tell everyone no, and I'm going to be as nice as I can about it, but I'm going to tell them all no. And then I've learned to kind of phrase it like no, thank you. Please don't follow up with me again. If I want to talk to you, I have your information, and I will follow up with you at some point. Is it important to be at inbox zero? It depends on how you are. For me, I feel like I'm missing out on opportunities if I don't keep my inbox down, because there have been a lot of times where things have gotten buried, and maybe 2 or 3 weeks or 3 months later, I finally get my inbox caught up, and there was, something from a reporter that was asking for a quote for something, or somebody that had a consulting opportunity and wanted to know, or a merchant that was doing a special commission increase or something, and I missed it because I just let it get buried, and I thought, oh, I'll get to that. And then I open the email and I see like, oh, that special exclusive expired 60 days ago, and I never even put it up on my site. So it depends on the kind of person that you are, whether it's important to you or not. But chances are, if your inbox is overflowing and you're not getting to your email, you probably are missing out on some opportunities just by things expiring on you. How do you decide if a niche is worthwhile? I get this question a lot, and basically, the two things that you should look at, number one is how can you monetize it? Looking and seeing which merchants are out there that could monetize the site for you, and also looking at their numbers to see how they convert. So it doesn't help if there are 10 merchants and all of them have an EPC of 67 cents. That's not going to help you. You need to make sure that there are merchants within the niche and that those merchants have good numbers. And then second, is there a lot of competition out there? And then a part B, can I do it better than the way they're doing it? So if there's so much competition, but that competition is crap, then maybe the niche is worthwhile because you can get into it and you can beat them out. If there's so much competition and you go and look at those sites and you think, wow, I can totally understand why this site's ranking, maybe it's not the niche for you. And if there's no competition at all, be leery of that because there might be a reason that there's no competition. Oh, I forgot I have a money tree. I wish I had a money tree. How can a merchant be helpful besides commissions? We think of the affiliate and merchant relationship and we think about the money. That's why we're all here, performance-based marketing. It's about the money. But there are actually some other ways that you should, as a merchant, be helping your affiliates, and there are ways as affiliates that you should be talking to your merchants. Custom creatives, there is a chance that if they have in-house graphic designers and you are working closely with them, they might be able to design co-branded banners for you. So it might have your name and their name in the banner, which is going to draw more attention on your site than just a banner ad that most people are not going to pay attention to. Along with that dedicated landing page. If they can create a dedicated landing page with your branding on it, then the customer is going to feel that continued experience. So they're loyal to you. They're going to get to that merchant site, and they're still going to see your branding. They might become a customer of that merchant as well. Products to review, kind of basic. Contest sponsorships along with the products to review. They might be willing to sponsor contests for you. It benefits them because it's getting their name out, and it benefits you because it's helping you get more traffic. Seasonal trends and calendars. One of the really great things about good affiliate managers is that they help you understand things you might not otherwise know. Like Joe from Fanatics. I follow some sports. I'm a big football fan. I follow some basketball, some baseball, but I don't really follow hockey. So I don't necessarily know when the playoffs are starting. Unless the Penguins make it into the finals, I'm not in up until that point. So I don't know that. But then Joe is sending out newsletters to all of his Fanatics affiliates. He's posting in his Facebook group and he's saying, hey, everyone, just so you know, the playoffs are coming up, or we're into the second round of the playoffs or whatever. So even if I didn't realize that it was going on, I should have. And I have a good affiliate manager there that's telling me these are things that you could be monetizing and here are the ways that you can monetize it. So the affiliate managers can be telling you about those different seasonal trends. They can tell you, a Halloween merchant can tell you, this is when our Halloween sales start. Hint, it's not October. They can tell you those things. They're top selling products. They might tell you, these are top selling products that we've just gotten in, or things that are selling really hot right now. Press releases and company news. They may be on the Oprah's favorite things. They might be in the Martha Stewart Christmas Guide. They might have their product on a late night show as a gag gift or something like that. If they know that those things are going to be occurring and they can give you a heads up, then you can be prepared and already have your deep links pulled, your images pulled, and things like that. And then you can supplement their press that they're getting with your blog posts. Other advertising pushes, if they're sending out the Val Pack. Like, Chris, does Blair do that kind of stuff where they do like magazine advertisements, Val Pack coupons, things like that? It's really helpful for affiliates to know when those kind of things are happening, because if you're doing a big push at a certain time, we know, make sure that our creatives are updated, make sure that we've got the newest seasonal banners and things like that, because people might be more likely to look for that particular merchant right now because they're seeing it in other places too. And then it all kind of works together to the benefit of both sides. And my mom, who was an affiliate manager, made me add the last one, read the newsletters. I didn't have it in here originally because I'm terrible about reading the newsletters, but she is right that the newsletters do often have a lot of very helpful information, and they might have all of these things above in there, but because you get so many, you just glaze over it. So especially with your top merchants, with the ones that you're either making a lot of money with or really fit your niche well, make sure you do read to the end, because they might tell you, oh, by the way, we've got this going on or that, and it might not be at the top of the newsletter. So make sure that you read through if those other things are of use to you. What are some of your automation cheats? I am not a programmer. I have a programmer that lives with me that I'm married to, and he does all of my custom programming for Sunshine Rewards. But for my other sites, I do everything myself. And so I have to use a lot of different cheats. And some of these, for example, Hootsuite and Sharist, I'm just using for social media. So I use them so that I can schedule things out for the niches, so that I can find content, so that I can schedule things while I'm on vacation or while I'm here, so I can kind of keep things going and also have extra analytics from those companies. As far as Golden Can and Pop Shops go, if you are looking to add data feeds to your site in some way, but you don't want to do it yourself, those are good ways to be able to add product pages to your site. You can populate an entire site with products and make it look like you've hand-coded all of it. You can even make it SEO friendly by using PHP in your blog posts and your pages. So it can help your SEO too, in particular if you use Pop Shops. And Aweber down there at the bottom, I actually have a blog post that is about how I can post on my blog for Sunshine Rewards. I can post a daily deal and write a blog post about it. That post automatically goes into my forum so that my community members see that it's there. And then the forum itself creates an RSS feed using vBulletin. Aweber can take that RSS feed and turn it into a newsletter. So I write one blog post, and that blog post goes into my forum for my community to be able to read about it. Then it goes into Aweber, comes out as a newsletter of all my daily deals for that day, and I'm able to take one piece of content and spread it across all the different places. So things like that at Aweber, I like to use because they have just some of those tools that make my newsletters a lot easier. FMTC, I'm going to admit I don't use it, but I really love the people there and I love what they do. And the only reason I don't use it is because I built my coupon site before they existed, and retrofitting wouldn't have worked really well for us. But if I were starting over, I would not have started over doing my own data feed work, because dealing with coupon data feeds is ridiculous. Trying to clean, there's no standardization across the merchants. So you're pulling in data feeds from different networks and trying to merge them all together into your site. You have expired coupon codes, ones that have the wrong dates in them. They're kind of ridiculous. But FMTC has already done all of that. So what you're getting with them is you're getting that automation. You're getting real people that are going in and looking at that stuff too. So you've got actual eyes, not just a computer that's trying to figure it all out. So if you're looking at adding coupons in any way, or if you're a merchant, that wants to work with more bloggers that are featuring coupons, more coupon and deal sites, FMTC would be the way to go with that. How and why do I redirect my affiliate links? So for me, I have two different ways. On Sunshine Rewards, we have everything built internally, so I have my own administration panel that I can redirect my links, but that's not feasible for most people. And on blogs in particular, you don't have to do that. So the thing that I use there is Pretty Links. And number one, it's because it looks pretty. Like, they really picked the best name possible for that particular plugin because they look pretty. So I have an administrative panel within WordPress, and I put in that whole long, ugly share a sale link, including my ampersand #track equals moms, and that whole link. I put it in, and it becomes helpingmomsconnect.com/fanatics. And then every time I write about fanatics, all I have to do is use that link. I don't have to keep going in and pulling that affiliate link over and over again. So I get a couple of things there. First of all, if the merchant changes networks, I don't have to go in and change 50 or 70 or 150 blog posts. I go into the Pretty Links, change it one time, and it's changed everywhere. If the merchant closes and I don't want to continue sending them to dead pages or sending them free traffic, then I can go in and do the same thing, and maybe I just go in and put in the actual link, and it's not going to be monetized anymore, but at least I'm still sending them to the right place, that I'm still providing value to my readers. Extra tracking, they do have extra click tracking in there, so if you want to use that for analytics, you can do that. Used for social sharing, so that short link, the helpingmomsconnect.com/fanatics, is a lot nicer to use on Facebook and on Twitter than anything else I could be using. And it's easy to remember because I just set them up in things that I will remember. If I forget, I can go back in and look. But for the most part, I set them up as just intuitive things that I'm always able to remember. They have Pretty Link and they have Pretty Link Pro. Pro is the paid version. I've been using the free version for years, and I get everything that I need out of it. So you can always upgrade if you want everything else. If I was going to get a tattoo, what would it be? Shockingly, I had 3 different people ask this question to put into the presentation. So it would be Sunshine McGiggles. And I told you before that this whole presentation is a little like us just hanging out and drinking and me telling you all of my secrets. So it's probably pretty obvious now that you've been in here 40 minutes why I might get something called Sunshine McGiggles. But there's that answer. Feel free to tweet it. My mom and husband both already know. What are the benefits of deep linking? How many of you that are affiliates use deep linking as opposed to just linking to the home page or whatever the merchant gives you? Okay, that's good. So deep linking is the ability to take people directly to a specific product or specific landing page on the site. And you can really increase your conversions by doing this, because if you're talking about a product and then you send somebody to the merchant website and it's not right there on the homepage for them, they may not ever find that product. It happens a lot with deals. If there's a specific thing that a merchant has on sale, and you say, oh, Walmart has this great TV on sale for 13 cents, and then everybody rushes to walmart.com and it's nowhere to be found, you've lost them. You're not going to make any money. They're not going to just keep shopping around because they're not going to find another 13-cent television on there. So if you find a really good deal, you've got to direct people right to where that deal is. You can also, if you do the programming correctly, there are sometimes merchants that allow you to add products directly to the cart. So if you're already pre-selling them and then you do a, click here to buy this, you might be able to actually have that product immediately added into their shopping cart. So when they hit the merchant page, it's already in their cart and you've got them one step closer to buying. Bypassing a homepage with leaks. And by leaks, I mean if they have, their 1-800 numbers plastered all over their homepage, or their homepage has all kinds of links to recipes and things like that are not monetized, you might end up losing them when they get to that page. But if you're sending them directly to a landing page, then you have a better chance of conversion. And also consider that if you are sending people to a specific product, If you think that that product might sell out, send them to the landing page instead. Use Joe again, for example, they have the ugly Christmas socks for sports teams. And I was linking for Steelers socks and Colts socks and some of the different socks I thought that my readers might like. But I was afraid that if I sent them to one of those in particular and that one was sold out, I might have lost the sale. So instead, I just created a deep link to the landing page on their site that has all the different ugly Christmas sweaters and socks. So when they get to that page, it's pretty easy to find the socks on there. It's not something they're really going to have to look around for. But if that particular pair of socks is sold out, they might find another pair for that team, or they might see the sweater instead and decide that they also like the sweater. So sometimes if you think that products are going to be selling out or there's going to be turnover, if you create the deep link either to a category page or a search result page on that merchant site, you're not going to find yourself having to go back and update those things so many times later. And for merchants, consider creating more of those links for the affiliates, sending out links saying, here's the link to all of this X category or this particular seasonal item or something, because the affiliates are just going to use them more if you're sending them out to them. You can also link to content on the merchant site. Like if that particular merchant, if it's a steak company and they have a page that is all different recipes, you might want to link to that page that has recipes because you're talking about the recipe and you tried it and you think that it's great. You might want to link directly to that page. Or if you're talking about the merchant and charitable things that they've done, and it's more kind of like a puff piece because you really love this merchant and you want people to check them out, if you send them to that page that talks about the charitable works or whatever that they've done, you've already kind of pre-sold them on the merchant. Now you're taking them to a page where the merchant is selling themselves about these great things they've done, and the customer then, you've already set the cookie. If they start looking around and shopping, you're going to make the sale. Why do I work with CPA networks? Anyone in here from a CPA network? Well, most of my friends don't like that I work with CPA networks. And some of you in here probably don't like CPA networks, but I will say not all CPA networks are the devil. There are some very reputable CPA networks that have some things that are good for a lot of affiliates. They have some good lead generation options that bloggers can use. For example, some of them have deals with Disney. And if you are a mom blogger and you have a Disney audience, if you can get a lead generation offer for making money when somebody gets a free Disney park map or a free Disney sticker or something like that, your audience is going to go crazy over that. And there's no downside to it. You're working with a reputable network. You're putting a good product on your site. It's something that your people want. There's no fraud involved. There are good opportunities like that. There are also things like pine cone surveys or different survey types that are legitimate survey companies that your readers might really be interested in. But finding those CPA networks is what's hard. You're going to go down to that exhibit hall and you're going to see a lot of CPA networks and you're going to have a hard time because every one of them is going to say the exact same thing. Audience, help me out. What does every CPA network say that they have? Exclusive offers? Highest payouts, yes. Every one of them down there is going to say those same things. So you're looking for transparency. You don't want to just go down there and I had one, I think last time that I stopped and there was a very attractive woman handing out papers and I started asking her questions about it and she's like, we do internet? And I was like, can you tell me more about that? And she's like, and it's on the internet? And I thought, okay, no, you know what? You're not the one I'm going to work with because if you don't have a person out here talking to me, explaining to me why I should be with you, if it's more important to you, if that's the reputation you want to have and those are the people you want, that's not the fit for me. I want somebody who I can go and you can explain to me what your tracking platform is and if you're on Cake and if you have an API that I can integrate with. I would have blown that girl's mind if I would have asked her those questions. So you're looking for transparency and reputation. And ask them how they approve their affiliates. Say, well, how hard is it to get approved? If they say, oh, it's not hard at all, you just fill out the form and we let you in. Just smile and turn away and say thanks and keep walking. That is not what you want to hear. You want to hear, well, we have a process where we have a team that will check out the site. It takes, 24 to 72 or whatever hours to get back with you. That's what you want to find. And, worst case scenario, ask me. I've worked with probably 80 different CPA networks since I started 10 years ago, and some of them have been terrible, and I think that they're criminals. I know they're criminals. Some of them are actually in jail or have gone to jail, so I know some of them are criminals, and others are wonderful people that are really just trying to do the right thing. You know, they're involved in the PMA, they're getting good offers, there a lot of outreach to the bloggers because they want to have a good business. And one of the things, if the offers are too good to be true, what is it? They probably are. That is what it looks like with them. And my guideline with every offer, whether it's a CPA network, if it's CPS, it doesn't matter what it is, everyone should come out a winner. You can tweet that. Everyone should come out a winner. In every transaction, I, as the affiliate, should make a little bit of money. The merchant should sell a product to make a little bit of money. The consumer should get something that they actually want or need or desire to have. And the network should get a little bit of cut. If you're selling something or you're promoting something and any of those four parties is not getting something out of it, it is not something that you should be promoting. So everyone should come out a winner in every transaction. And if you are doing that, and if those are the offers you're promoting, those are the CPA networks that you're working with, you're good. How do you reconnect to reaffirm your connections? So this is a little bit more about coming here to the conference. You're going to meet a lot of people today. Hopefully some of you are going to come up afterward and meet me, hint, hint, maybe get a card, something like that. We're going to meet, we're going to have drinks, we're going to go to karaoke together, we're going to have a good time. We're not going to see each other until January or maybe next August or maybe never again if the situation doesn't work out. But we still want to work together. So, what are some of the things that, I just love that picture. What are some of the things that you can do? And, some of them are just so basic, like paying attention to what people are saying on Twitter and just responding. Just a very quick so that they remember you, or retweeting something. Like Anna's the best at retweeting people. So everyone will continue to connect with her after the conferences because she's continuing to pay attention. And people know that. People know that Anne's paying attention. Commenting on their Facebook or their blog posts. It's hard to get comments on blog posts. It's really, really hard. And people are out there writing some great content and getting no comments at all. So if you're the one person that every once in a while just goes and leaves a comment, Sean Collins is the best at that. If you go look at anything that's written about Affiliate Summit anywhere, any blog post, whether it's positive or negative, there will be a comment, likely from Sean, maybe Misty, but more likely from Sean. There will be a comment that either says, sorry you had that experience, is there some way that we could fix that? Or glad you had such a great experience, hope to see you again. He will comment on every single Affiliate Summit blog post that's out there. And that's him paying attention. And so then people read that, they think, the owner of Affiliate Summit actually responded to my blog post, and then they want to come back. They want to follow him, on Twitter. They want to pay attention to him. So something that's that simple and that easy, not to mention that you might even get a link back to your site, depending on if they're using Comment Love or something. I send American greeting cards online. It's cheesy. My mom said don't put that in there because it's stupid. Nobody does that anymore. But I love American greeting cards online because you can send them just for anything. Like you see somebody's having a bad day and you just send like a goofy little monkey or something. But that's my personality. People get that from me and they don't think, well, that's really weird that girl sent me a little monkey card. They get that and they think, oh, that's totally Tricia. So, you have to work with what's you, the way that you continue to maintain these relationships, what works. And, of course, the handwritten note. We sent out 45 of them recently to Sunshine Rewards members and some of our people that we work with. And the response that we got, they were all genuinely written for each person that we sent them with personalized information about them. The response that we got was unbelievably overwhelming. And lastly, why should I network with my competition? And that's a tough thing. People come to Affiliate Summit, especially if you're coming in from other industries, the thought of collaborating or networking with your competition is crazy. Like, why would I want to talk to somebody else that's doing the exact same thing that I'm doing? Why do I want to build that relationship? And there are so many reasons. First of all, job and role changes within the industry. I had a friend who owned his own cashback deal site. We became friends because we were both Steelers fans. We bonded over it. We were friends even though we were competitors. He ended up getting rid of that site and becoming an affiliate manager. He got me into a program that I'd been trying to get into for 5 years when he started managing that program. So we became friends even though we were competitors. And then later on, when he changed jobs, all of a sudden he had something I really needed. And he looked at our relationship and it wasn't antagonistic. I'm sharing information about bad merchants. Like I mentioned before, if you're having problems with merchants, if you're networking with your competition, it's a lot easier to just reach out to them quickly if you already have a good relationship with them. Guest posting, in particular for the bloggers, because it gives you a lot of opportunity, whether you're in the same niche or not, to be able to guest post for each other. Joint ventures. I have one with Eric and Todd that all came out of just meeting at Affiliate Summit and working together. White label solutions. I have white labeled Sunshine Rewards, and there are people that I've met at Affiliate Summit who now have co-branded reward sites for their blogs because I white labeled my site, and they just, after seeing what I was doing and seeing where they were, they just came up at one Affiliate Summit and said, I have this crazy idea. You might not ever consider it, but can we talk about it? And within like 2 minutes of starting to talk about it, I said, yes, we'll do that. I'm calling home to the programmer. By the time we get home from Vegas, this will be done, and we will do it. And we did. So there were ways that we're now both able to make money off of that. And then presenting at the conferences too. You know, it's okay to stand up here and present by myself, but my preference is to be up here with my friends, to be up here with people that I really trust, people that I connect with. I think it makes sometimes a better presentation because you've got more people, you know, bouncing off ideas and different perspectives. So you only can get that if you're networking with your competition. And the PMA is actually putting out a paper probably in the next 2 weeks that's all about collaboration case studies. So 2 affiliates working together, 2 agencies working together, I think 2 merchants maybe working together. So it's all case studies on how people basically met at Affiliate Summit and they found ways to be able to work with their competition, and then in the end, both of them made more money off of it. Okay, let's see. How much time do we have left? 3 minutes. All right. Is there anything that you could have possibly asked me that was not in that competition or in that presentation? I can't imagine that there was much because I think I covered a little bit of everything. Are there any other questions while we have time? I will let you ask anything, and I'll answer it all here, except yours, Phil. FTC disclosure statements. Can you just put a disclosure link on every page? The only way that you can have one page that has the disclosure on it that you link to is if there's enough information before the link or as part of that link. So you can say, like, we may receive compensation from this post, click here for more information, that has the full disclosure. But you couldn't just say, like, disclosure or disclosure policy. They want the actual clear language to occur on the page. So that can be your link that takes you into the page that has all the full information, but you can't just have one link, like, you know, in your menu bar or in the sidebar or something like that that says disclosure. So that is a big change from a couple years ago. Slide more, sure. Right, so if there's not enough room to get all that information that you need, yeah, especially with the mobile devices, that's tough because there's only so much real estate there. So you have to have something that is, you know, clear and conspicuous and the clear language that shows the material connection and all that other legalese, and you can link out, but that has to be there first. Good question. All right. Any other legitimate questions? All the other illegitimate ones you can ask me afterwards. I'm going to say that is something that I believe you already know the answer to. That was, if you missed drinking last night, you missed answers last night. So if you want to drink tonight, you get more answers tonight. That's just how that goes. So if you're at karaoke, I'll give you more answers. All right, so I think we're just about out of time anyway. If you want to come up and exchange business cards, I might send you a cute American Greetings monkey card at some point. I don't know. But thank you so much for coming.